Hey guys, I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm in Fred's place. And what you see in front here is actually all because of Fred's wife's fault. Yeah. So the one who started Fred on this hobby is actually his wife. And he only started 3 years ago, and he got to this hobby starting from floor standard Dali speakers, and now after 3 years, this is what he has. Well, so Fred's wife got him into listening, and they both enjoy listening to music together. And this is a hobby of theirs to enjoy this music, and this is a really, really wonderful system. So let me share with you Fred's system.
Rain falls upon us and takes away the sunshine.
So I just want to share with you the system that Fred has, and I've got a very fortunate time to listen here. So first, let me tell you about the listening experience. Yeah. So wow. So it's my first time listening to the Aida 2s and the Gryphon Apex and Commander. Wow. So few things I noted. It's super clear. Super clear doesn't mean that it's sharp or in the treble or what, but throughout the frequency range, clarity throughout every instrument. It's clearly placed, even in super complex tracks. You can hear where everything is very clearly. I've heard some of these tracks which I've listened to many, many times. And some of them, wow, first time I heard some things which I've never heard before. Yeah, so I know it's a cliche to say that, but it's true. And it's not fatiguing at all. The system is set up very nicely. There's some tweaks which I'll explain later when we go through, which made a lot of difference. We tried it with and without those tweaks. It made a lot of difference. Yeah, so I'll show you how the system is set up. So there's two systems here. One is a home theater system, and one is a audio system. So they're set up together, but in a way, it's separated by the power conditioning and setup to optimize the audio system as well. So let me bring you through how it works. Okay, so this is where the system starts. It's all connected to one connection on the wall, and then it goes to the Frank power bank on the bottom here. Okay, so basically this system is actually to allow for more current to be released into the system whenever the system requires it. Okay, so from there are different isolation transformers for the different setup. Okay, so this is for the home theater system. So it's an isolation transformer, and on the back there are actually DC eliminators, and this will be connected to an isolation transformer over here. So this is for the high current equipment such as the Gryphon and the subwoofers over here. And for the front end, we have the DAC, the streamer. So these are connected to a power regenerator which is below over here. And then for the network side of things, there's the Sensis Audio SFP SFP system. So there's the DC blockers, SFP from RJ45 to SFP connection, and there's a Terra DAC, basically a network switch. So there is a separate power supply over here. Okay, so this power supply goes to the network switch here. Okay, so we'll talk about the home theater first. Okay, for the home theater system, there's the Storm Audio MK24. You can see here. And it goes to multi-channel amplifier from Starke amplifier. This is the A7. And also there's a Lexicon multi-channel amplifier here. So the speaker, so this is the center speaker from Vienna Acoustics. I found, okay, this driver here is quite typical of Vienna Acoustics. They have this transparent driver. But what's really interesting is the concentric mid-range driver, which is actually flat. It's not cone, like usually you get a cone design like the CAF, but this is actually flat. So I guess this is to improve the dispersion, to get a very wide dispersion, but it's a very unique design. First time I'm seeing this as well. So for the, I'll show you first. For the AirPods connections, we have speakers here from Starke Sound. And let me show you the back. There's some speakers here. This is from Orbid Sound. This is a German brand. So you can see here the speaker, the Atmos speakers here. This is another one, the back channel, and the side channel. Okay, so for the audio side of it, we have the Aurender N30 streamer. So it has a separate power supply for the streamer, which is located below the rack, and goes here to the Poseidon, the Lampizator Poseidon. This is a really good DAC from Lampizator, and it can also function as a preamp as well. But in this setup, is used purely as a DAC, and it uses tubes in this system. Okay, and then it goes to the Gryphon Commander. So Commander is the top of the range preamplifier from Gryphon. So it's a 2-box. One is over here, and then the power supply separately over there. And the amplifier here is the Gryphon Apex Stereo. Okay, this is a pure class A power amplifier, top of the range from Gryphon. You can see how huge this thing is. Huge number of power transistors, power supplies inside, and the sound, wow. Okay, for the speakers, we have the Sonus Faber Aida 2s. So you can see, very beautiful speaker with the red wood finish on the side and the curved finish. So this is the second highest range from Sonus Faber, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a tweeter, a mid, and then 2 mid bass. And on the bottom, which we can't see, there's actually another bass driver which is down firing. Okay. And there are 4 subwoofers in this room, which 2 of them are used for audio. So this one is the REL Carbon Special, one for the left and one for the right. Okay, for the home theater setup, there'll be another 2 more subwoofers, which is the JL113. These are located behind the seats. So there's 2 JL113 V2 behind the seats when it's on home theater mode. So I'll show you how it looks like. So the big difference from this compared to some of the other systems is I think a lot of emphasis is spent on power supply. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is there are 4 of these PSI C214s. These are to absorb some of the excess bass in the room. It's really effective. We did the A/B comparison just now. It's really effective, and I think this is one of the best tweaks you have to control bass resonance, bass problems in your room. It doesn't take up much space. If you want to get equivalent performance, you need a huge stack of bass traps, which are really ugly, and this can be a very good solution, which can also adjust using the app. So there are 4 of them in this room, and they did a great job to control bass resonance in the room. So the other thing I want to mention, so you can see, so the streaming setup, there's a lot of emphasis on network switch. It makes a lot of difference, I think, especially some of you might think that these things don't make much difference, snake oil or whatever, but if you actually have a very resolving system, you can actually hear the differences quite clearly. And if you want to try it out, you should get this if you want to maximize the performance of your system. Okay, and the isolation transformers as well. These are actually you can make your system much more quiet, resolving, but still able to produce the required power and demand. But it's very important, you must get the right combination, the right ones that fit your system. Sometimes if you do it wrongly, you can actually make it sound worse. So you got to try and see how it works with your system. And for this one, I think they've already made a lot of difference. Okay, I just want to share what I've seen here, and I'm really privileged to have this opportunity to try this, and hope you guys enjoy checking out Fred's system here. So if any questions about this system, put some comments and we'll try to answer them. So we'll see you around. If anybody would like to share their system, say if you're in Malaysia or Singapore, where I can try to reach you, leave a note in my email address, and we will stay in contact. Okay? All right. Thank you.